The murder of XXXTentacion shocked the world, especially finding out he was killed over 50 racks in a Louis bag. Now, one of his killers is snitching on his homies to avoid life behind bars. Here's what's going on. On August 15th, news broke that one of the suspects in X's murder had fled. Robert Allen decided to plead guilty for a lesser sentence, and part of the deal is for him to testify against the other 3 dudes involved in the shooting. They was all originally charged with premeditated first-degree murder, but Allen's charge got reduced to second-degree murder and robbery with a firearm. According to Allen's lawyer, he wasn't even part of the hit. He says,
when it comes out to what Mr. Allen's role in this, it was much less than the other 3 involved. It was always kind of contemplated that the state was looking to use him as a witness in the case, and finally we came to an agreement and pled to that agreement today. Which again, there are no specific promises, but obviously we're hoping for a lot better than a life sentence. Again, his involvement much less than the others, more of an accessory after the fact than really part of the planning. Certainly never got out of the car, never had a gun, never shot anybody.
Even though Allen's charge got reduced to second-degree murder, he's still facing life in prison. His co-defendants all have premeditated first-degree murder charges though, so he might end up helping the prosecution give them all the death penalty. On June 18, 2018, X went to a motorcycle and boat dealership in Deerfield Beach with his uncle. According to investigators on the case, a dude named Dedrick Williams saw his whip and called up Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsome, and Robert Allen to pull up and see if X was really there. Williams was in the probation office with X a few months earlier, and that's why the cops think he knew it was his whip outside the dealership. Around 3:30 p.m., security cameras caught Allen and Williams follow him into the shop. They walked right past X while he was checking out some motorcycles and bought 2 black masks, while the dude they wanted to rob was just a few feet away. X and his uncle left the dealership about 30 minutes later, and that's when all 4 suspects allegedly blocked his car in with their SUV. Then Newsome and Boatwright allegedly hopped out and robbed him. Newsome grabbed the Louis V bag with 50 bands in it, while Boatwright snatched X's chain. During all the chaos, X's uncle dipped and ran off, leaving his nephew alone. According to detectives, Newsome ran back to the SUV, but Boatwright allegedly took a couple steps back and shot X 6 times, killing him. That's when witnesses say that Newsome and Boatwright grabbed the LV bag from X's car and escaped in their own whip. It only took around a month for the cops to track all 4 of them down. They grabbed Williams about a week after the killing, and by early August, they snatched all of them up on premeditated first-degree murder charges. Williams pled not guilty, but when he got interrogated, he allegedly told police that the murder had cost him sleepless nights. He also said he ain't confessed earlier because he didn't want to be known as a snitch. What's wild is that he pled not guilty, then damn near confessed to the whole thing. And now that Allen is working with the cops, there's almost no chance that Williams is gonna beat his case. X's dad says he wants Boatwright to be given the death sentence and the rest of the crew to go down for life without parole. Boatwright, Williams, and Newsome could all be facing lethal injection, but it ain't clear if prosecutors are even going for the death penalty yet. Allen would have been facing death too, but since he snitched, the max he'll get is life without parole. Before X got killed, he was on his way to the top of the rap game. He was born in Plantation, Florida, and raised mostly by his grandmother since his parents wasn't around. When he was 10 years old, his dad got caught up in a RICO case in Arizona and was locked up for 9 years. Then, in 2016, he got deported to his home country of Jamaica. X had a lot of problems as a kid. His aunt got him into music by making him join the school choir, but he got kicked out after attacking another student. His middle school eventually threw him out for fighting, and that's when his mom put him in a youth program and he started diving deeper into music. When he was 14, X got arrested for possessing 21 grams of marijuana. He had to spend a month in juvie and 6 months in a behavioral correctional facility. Then right after he got out, he was arrested again for breaking into a house and stealing a laptop to make music on. After he dropped out of high school in his sophomore year, X got locked up in juvie again on gun charges, which is where he linked up with Ski Mask the Slump God and started rapping. When they got out of juvie, they started hitting houses together for cash. X used some of that money to buy a mic, and that's when they started making tracks and posting them on SoundCloud. X joined Ski Mask's rap crew, Very Rare, but then split off and started his own group called Members Only. Ski admired X's talent, so he decided to join Members Only too. X dropped his debut album in 2014 and followed up with more projects the next year. He was working at a call center in 2016 and trying to get his rap career going at the same time. So he decided to take music seriously and moved in with Denzel Curry. It seemed like X was really trying to focus on his career, but then a couple months later, he was arrested for robbery and assault with a deadly weapon. According to the arrest report, X broke into a house with 3 other dudes and allegedly pistol whipped the dude 3 times and stole an iPad, iPhone, PlayStation Portable, and $20 in cash. Just days before the robbery went down, X posted bail for stabbing his manager Tables. Ski Mask allegedly lied to X and said Tables was stealing from him. So a few days later, X broke into his apartment and stabbed him. Tables almost died, but he decided to drop the charges because he didn't want one bad choice to define who X was. X posted bail for the robbery case and got back to work on his debut album. But in October 2016, he got arrested again for aggravated battery of a pregnant woman, domestic battery by strangulation, false imprisonment, and witness tampering after he allegedly attacked his pregnant girlfriend and tried to bribe her to not testify against him. The arrest report said the victim's eyes were punched to where both eyes became shut and the victim could not see, and photos show his girlfriend with black eyes and a bruised nose. X was facing a lot of time if he got convicted, but the trial kept getting delayed, and eventually, his victim asked the court to drop the charges. After he died, Pitchfork released audio of X talking to some friends about the domestic violence case. X said he had no pride looking in the mirror because he couldn't control his anger. He also said that he used to f his ex-girlfriend up for cheating on him, but he forgave her and wouldn't touch her again. Some of his fans tried to clear it up by claiming that he meant f her up mentally. A Rolling Stone journalist who wrote a biography of X said that the excuse was illogical in context. X was accused of some brutal crimes, but he was holding on to a lot of trauma too. On the same recording, he talks about f***ing his girl up. He talks about seeing someone get their tongue cut out, watching someone else get raped, and even seeing someone trying to murder his mother. After he blew up, X also ended up falling out with Ski Mask the Slump God. He told his fans in October 2017 that he was retiring unless Ski Mask would be friends with him again. X hopped on IG Live and said it was a lack of appreciation on his end, not because of me, I guess just from a business perspective. I can't even say I've done anything to him. They use you to where they want to go and then part ways. And I've been used a lot if you haven't noticed. Then Ski Mask started posting on Instagram to tell his side of the story. He wrote,
"Well, that alien looking name XXX. I had to distance myself because it's like nobody would see me as an individual rapper if I don't. On top of that crazy as hell."
He also claimed that X threatened his family. X responded on Instagram writing, "Don't care about what you said about me. You know who got your back. Love you forever." It ain't clear what exactly went down between them, but they eventually squashed the beef at Rollin' Loud Miami and became cool again. X dropped the track Look At Me back in 2015, but it took 2 years for it to pop off. It peaked at number 34 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2017 and picked up more momentum after fans started accusing Drake of biting X's flow on his track KMT. X was locked up while Look At Me was popping, and labels started reaching out to sign him. He ended up with Empire Distribution so he could have full control over his music. Then he got out of jail in April 2017 and went on his first tour. X was already making headlines for his wild past, but no one expected what happened on the tour. He got knocked out on stage, a fan got stabbed at another show, he dove into a crowd to fight someone, and during one set, he got tossed into a barricade by security. Even though his own tour was crazy, Drum gave X a major break and brought him out on stage with him during Kendrick's Damn tour. By this point, X was already one of the hottest new artists in the game, and his first album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart. X told fans he wanted to drop 3 albums in 2018, but unfortunately, only one of them got released before he got killed. His career lasted just a couple of years, but his music changed the industry forever. He got over 5 tracks with 1 billion plays on Spotify, and his last post is the 3rd most liked picture on Instagram. According to X and people close to him, he was making a huge effort to become a better person before he died, but he was tragically killed right when he was turning it all around. At least his family and fans will be getting justice for his death soon. Plus, Williamson basically already confessed to it during his interrogation, so it could end up being a pretty quick trial. This story's still developing, so y'all tap in for updates. Rest in peace to XXXTentacion.